Today's topic, the Baltimore Ravens. The question, are they the best secondary in football? Let's get into it. Let's just start off with Marcus Peters. They acquired him midway through last season. He's someone that I've had my problems with in the past. I feel like he often will go for interceptions and make bad decisions. But once he came over to Baltimore, things have really worked out very well for him. And I think a big reason is that he hasn't been asked to be a number one guy. He's often gone up against favorable matchups. And when he is going up against a favorable matchup, he can really thrive. Like on this play, he's going up one-on-one against Alex Erickson, who's running a out route to this, to the bottom of half of the screen. So that's the way this play is going to work. And what I really want to take a look at is notice how quickly Peters realizes what this route is going to be. So Erickson starts to cut to the outside. He doesn't do a great job, doesn't run this route particularly well. Again, not trying to throw shade, just calling it how I see it. And so you notice that Peters, he's cutting in. He realizes what's going on, and he's already breaking in and trying to make a play. He takes advantage of these situations. He's going to jump in front of that route, and he gets not just the interception, but he's going to return it all the way for a pick six. Just a huge swing in a football game. And that really is what Peters can do. He's the kind of guy where it's like, listen, he can get burned against number one guys. We've seen him get burned against number one guys a ton of times. But if you can get him on a number two guy, not only will he not get burned very often, but he's also going to get these tremendous plays in the other direction. He gets not just a lot of interceptions, but a lot of pick sixes along with that. He's not afraid to jump routes. And I think that when he's going up against lesser talent, it's a really good move to have him on your roster. And in fact, if I had Marcus Peters and I didn't really have a number one corner, I probably would still have a lesser corner try to cover the number one guys and leave Peters on a number two guy just because he can get those interceptions. I think you could really make an argument for it. Just, double team the number one guy, obviously. So we'll go from Peters to Humphrey. Humphrey, one of the better corners in the NFL right now. This plays an example. This route, not the biggest primetime matchup necessarily, but it's a difficult route, in man coverage. A route it's barely over the middle of the field, and there's also going to be plenty of natural picks with other Baltimore players in the area. So, this is definitely not a totally easy play to defend whatsoever. And you're going to see once this play starts to develop, you definitely see there is a bit of separation. But this is an okay situation for Humphrey. He's done kind of what you expect him to do. He's staying right with his assigned man, which is, again, it's not easy against this route. And also, hey, if worst case scenario, he has to make a quick tackle. That's not ideal, obviously, but at least it's not a back-breaking play. Also, there's 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter of a blowout win for Baltimore. So, definitely not the end of the world if he is unable to get this stop. However, even with this separation, he is going to be able to fight all the way back and make a play on the ball. Again, great ball skills. That's what a lot of these Baltimore Ravens players have. Admittedly, if that's a perfect throw, I'm not sure if he comes back and makes that play, but it wasn't a terrible throw, and he still was able to make the play. Again, guys who can go up and make a play, it seems like that's what Baltimore was after. They're less concerned about guys who, won't give up separation, because at the end of the day, you can give up as little separation as you want. If the other player makes the catch, it's still a catch. You also have to be able to, make a play on the ball, and Humphrey and Peters can certainly do that, but perhaps no one's better than Jimmy Smith, who they still have. I have not forgotten about Jimmy Smith, despite the fact that he, not a ton of playing time these past couple of years. Let's look at this play, and this time it is a primetime one-on-one matchup. He's going up against DeAndre Hopkins right here. The situation is important to talk about before we get too far into this. There's 26 seconds left. And we're, it's 26 seconds left in the half. So they're trying to, score some points. They would like to get the touchdown here, obviously. And after the ball is snapped, you notice that Hopkins, he just gets easily open because Smith was expecting something deep. This is not something deep, so maybe they can gain some yards here. However, Smith is able to fight back, and he's able to knock Hopkins out of bounds despite the fact that, there was so much separation. You look at Hopkins, he can't believe it. He's saying, oh man, how did I miss that one? Again, I'm not sure it would have mattered too much, but I think it just goes to show Smith's skill set. They legitimately have 3 guys who have been number one corners at one point. And when you get over to safeties, oh yeah, there's the future Hall of Famer Earl Thomas. That guy's pretty good. And no, he's not washed up. Everyone talked about, hey, maybe he's washed up because, Nick Chubb outran him once, even though Nick Chubb does that to literally everybody. So I'm not really too concerned about that. And he definitely made some really good plays. This is an example of that, where it's going to be it's a zone coverage play, and this is good for New England. They have a play where a tight end sort of runs into one zone, then Edelman runs into that zone. So basically, every other Baltimore player in the area is not in charge of covering that play, but now the player who was in charge of covering that area, he's been taken out of it, so there could be a window. And right when this ball is snapped, there definitely is a window right here. Edelman has an opening. Earl Thomas is pretty far away, so Brady is going to make a throw in this direction. However, Thomas breaks in. He knocks the ball away. Really good play from Earl Thomas, and he's able to knock it away. And that's just, again, it's what he can do. He's a very smart player. He's a veteran, obviously. He's been making these reads for a while. Plays like that aren't necessarily all what he does. He obviously is a free safety most of the time, and he's a very good free safety. And for a team that likes to play a lot of cover one and likes to blitz, he's someone who can go back there and be all right. Finally, to finish off the starters, Chuck Clark. He definitely is, I would say, the least notable name out of these guys, but he's not so bad himself, and he's certainly at least a very solid starting safety. I would even say above average starting safety. And like on this play, it's going to be, it is a cover one play. This is a blitz. There's actually a bit to unpack here, so just give me a second. It's going to be a cornerback blitz. You see a cornerback who is lined up with the receiver who is second closest to the bottom of the screen. The reason why he doesn't have a line attached to him is because he's going to be blitzing on this play. So that's where the blitz comes from. And so in doing this, Chuck Clark, the guy who I have circled in white, he is going to be the one responsible of covering the Cleveland Browns player who is running deep. However, spoiler alert, Baker Mayfield is not going to notice this blitz right away because maybe he could have thrown it to that receiver real quick and they could have picked up some yards. And instead, Baker Mayfield wants to throw it to the other player who's going to be running a route, the other route you see on the screens. Like, watch, after the ball is snapped, you notice that there's, again, a couple things to break down. First, there is some separation, which is why Baker wants to throw it there. But also, if you look at Clark is not just, looking at his man and just ready to play man coverage. He's looking around and totally ready to maybe make a move and, do something else. He sees that this throw is going in that direction, so he breaks in and he knocks it away. Again, really good play by Clark, and that's another thing that he can do. All of these guys can make plays on the football. Clark actually had 4 passes defensed in this game, which is just crazy. So, they have guys who can make those plays, and that's clearly what they want. They want to play a lot of man coverage. They want to blitz the hell out of you, and they want guys who can not just, not give up much separation, but can actively knock a ball down or even intercept it. And that's what all of these guys can do. So it's certainly up there as one of the best secondaries in football. I mean, you could argue, I think the Seattle Seahawks have now joined that conversation with adding Jamal Adams. There's a few teams, you still can't count out New England, but I definitely think that, they're in the short list for sure. So what do you guys think? Are the Ravens the best secondary in football, or is there another team that you would have? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.